welcome back to my channel. Today I have some tea empties to share with you guys. As you guys know, I am on a sip down journey. So these are all the teas that I finished for December, January, February, and then obviously like half of March because that's where we're at. I'll start with the full sizes, like the big, the boxes and everything, and then we'll move into smaller sizes and individual tea bags and things like that. So let's first start with the Bigelow Toasted Coconut Almond Bark Black Tea. There's a few empty sachets in here. This is good. I have bought this probably 3 or 4 times in the past, I don't know, over the past couple of years basically. And it is good. Now that I'm kind of trying to dwindle down my collection though and be very, very picky, I will say that this is probably not one of my favorites. So I probably will not be repurchasing this, at least not for quite some time. But if you do like coconut and almond, it is a nice tea. It's not overpowering coconut or almond. It's just kind of like a balanced, and the black tea base is really, really good too. I really like Bigelow's black teas, but for me, yeah, I think I'm just kind of like sick of it for right now. So this is going to be a no purchase for a while for me. Now this one is the Tazo Earl Grey, and this box was actually completely sealed, like not even opened, like a month and a half ago. And I went through every single one of the tea bags in here. This, I think, now, don't hold me to this, you guys, but I think that this is probably one of my favorite Earl Greys that I've ever tried. It just has such good flavor. A lot of times I've found Earl Greys can almost be overpowering and almost have like a bitterness to them. This does not have this. However, it's also not as mild as like the Lady Grey from Twinings. So it's kind of between like a harsher Earl Grey and then the Lady Grey like milder. It's somewhere in between and it's so good. So I was enjoying this pretty much every single morning. I went between this and chai. I would have every single morning with a little bit of sweetener in it and a drizzle of milk, and it was just perfect. And I looked forward to this every single morning. So this is one that I definitely will be repurchasing. Next up, I have this Celestial Seasonings Candy Cane Lane Green Tea, which is a decaffeinated green tea. This was really good. I think this is the one, if I'm not mistaken, that's like a it's peppermint, but then it has like a hint of vanilla. Let's see. Okay, no, that's not this one. Oh wait, no, that is this one. Because yes, it's peppermint, decaffeinated green tea, orange peel, natural mint flavor with other natural flavors, cinnamon, milk thistle, blackberry leaves, roasted carob, roasted chicory, and vanilla bean. I don't really taste orange in this. I don't taste blackberry leaves, and I really don't get much cinnamon. To me, this is like a peppermint tea with a hint of vanilla, and I definitely did enjoy this. Most of the time I drank this completely unsweetened with no milk or anything added to it, and it was definitely nice that this was decaffeinated, so I was able to enjoy it in the evenings too. Would I repurchase? Well, actually, I don't have to because I do have another full box of this that's not even opened, but once that one is gone, I don't know if I would repurchase or not, and here's why. There's another peppermint vanilla tea in here that I like better than this one, and it's completely herbal. It's not even like a green tea. So we'll get to that one. And so this one I probably would not repurchase again, unless the other one that I'll show you later, if it wasn't available, then I would repurchase. Does that make sense? Next up, I have the Celestial Seasonings Gingerbread Spice Herbal Tea. And let me remind myself. Okay, so this one was just, yeah, it's just straight up like cinnamon and ginger and all those good flavors. I vaguely remember drinking this, and I know I drank it like unsweetened, but I'm kind of drawing a blank. I mean, obviously I liked it enough to finish it, and I think I do have another full box of this one, but yeah, I'm not going to give it a full review because like I honestly don't remember exactly how I felt about this tea. Obviously, the fact that I don't remember, it wasn't anything remarkable, but it probably wasn't anything horrible either if I was able to finish it. So once I finish the other box, we'll talk more about that one. Next up, it's called Red Tent, and this is from Adagio Teas. This is actually, it's a soothing tea to ease monthly discomfort. So this is for women who are on their periods. It's supposed to help with cramping, just like regulating the flow, things like that, helping to de-bloat, all that good stuff. The ingredients in this are rooibos, jasmine tea, raspberry green tea, lemon balm, fennel, chamomile, and raspberry leaf. So I think I would have liked this tea if there wasn't that jasmine in there. For me, that just seemed to be the overpowering flavor was jasmine, and I am not a fan of floral teas. I don't like lavender in my tea normally, unless it's like so faint that you can barely taste it. I don't like rose in my tea. I just am not a floral tea person, and that is unfortunately that's what I tasted. Now, the ingredients in this, I think though, it's not, I mean, this combination was definitely nice, but I think moving forward, if I'm looking for something to help with monthly discomfort, I probably would just pick up like a straight raspberry leaf tea or chamomile tea or something. And if I was looking to like kind of get rid of like water retention and stuff like that, I would probably pick up like a dandelion root tea instead of combining all of them into one. So this is something I definitely will not be repurchasing again, but the individual, like I said, those 3 teas that I just named off, those I would definitely repurchase in the future, just, on their own. Next up, this is the Tazo Regenerative Organic Chai. Oh my gosh, this is another one, you guys. I've had Tazo teas in the past, and like they were just kind of okay. Like, some of them are good, some of them, but for some reason the Earl Grey was hitting hard over this last couple of months, and so was this. This was so good. Again, this is one that I can't remember if this was completely sealed. I think it was. I think this was a fresh box when I started like a month and a half ago, and I used like every single sachet in the box. It was just so good. So I was going back and forth between the Earl Grey in the mornings, and then I would also have this chai. And again, I would add just a little bit of sweetener and a drizzle of milk, and it was just so perfect, especially on those mornings where it was still really, really cold and we had snow. It just felt so comforting, and it would kind of take me back to like autumn and Christmas time, which is just kind of my happy place anyway. So this was so good. I definitely will be repurchasing that one. And then the last of the boxes, I have this Celestial Seasonings Nutcracker Sweet Black Tea. And let's see. Okay, this is a black tea with vanilla flavor and cinnamon. Let me smell this because I vaguely, again, I think I liked that. Well, I know I liked this one, but again, I don't remember it being so amazing that like I was like, oh, I have to repurchase. And I think I have another one of these upstairs in my tea stuff that's unopened. And the reason I have doubles is because I ordered like the Celestial Seasonings holiday and seasonal set, and it came with 2 of every single flavor. So that's why I have backups of all of these. So again, I don't remember this being super, super remarkable. So I'll have to get back to you on that when I do the other box. But obviously it was good enough that I finished the box. So, okay, that was all the boxes. Now let's move on to like the bags of loose leaf. So first up is this Sips by Test Kitchens. This was Dutch Baby Herbal Tea. Obviously, Sips by is gone, so you can't get this tea anyway because it was a Test Kitchen, a Sips by actual brand. The Dutch Baby, honestly, I wasn't overly impressed with it anyway. It had, let's see, pineapple bits, apple bits, rose hip peels, carob bits, white cocoa butter, splits, citrus peels, raisins, flavor, apple slices, and almond bits. Yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't anything spectacular, so I wouldn't have repurchased that one anyway. This one is also from Sips by. It's by it's by the Sips by brand cookie tea, and this was the salted caramel cookie tea. Now this was really good. Oh my gosh, yeah, this was really, really good. It definitely, like the salted caramel, well, the salted part, it had a hint of salt, so it wasn't overly salty, but you could definitely pick up like the caramel, but like it had that cookie, like almost like buttery taste to it, probably because of the salt in there. It was really, really good. So this is one that if I could still get my hands on it, I might think about purchasing this one. And this was, I think it was an herbal tea. Oh no, this was a green tea. So it was definitely really good. Next up was Calafia tea, and this is the vanilla lemongrass loose leaf tea. This was actually really good. This one smelled amazing. And it's funny because obviously I brewed the tea and then I had the little strainer basket and I had just like set that on a little plate to kind of drain and everything and walked away from it. And like when I walked back into the kitchen a couple hours later, I could still smell, especially like the vanilla of this. It was really, really nice. So it was just definitely like a citrusy vanilla. Like there was just brightness to it. Really, really like this one. And it was, let's see, herbal. Yeah, this is totally herbal tea. So it was decaf. Next up, another of the Sips by brand, and this was their Earl Grey Green. Nothing spectacular. Again, like I said, the Tazo Earl Grey was phenomenal. This was just okay. Would not purchase. I think I have the Adagio Earl Grey Green. I'll have to play with that one a little bit. I definitely just wasn't a fan of the green tea with the Earl Grey, like the bergamot flavor. So this was definitely a no for me, but I don't know if it was just this brand or just in general. So we'll have to see. Next up, this is from Trader Nick's Tea Company, which this came in a Sips by box, but this is not Sips by brand. So you may be able to still get this. But it's the Ghoulish Delight, which is a black tea with toffee, chocolate, almond, and earthy pu'er. This was phenomenal. Oh my gosh, I loved this. I had this just straight, black, but then I also played with this and had it with a little bit of sweetener and a drizzle of milk, and it was good both ways. It was just like a nice, rich black tea, and then that toffee and almond, and what was the other? Chocolate. Yeah, it just had like the greatest flavor to it. So this was actually really nice. This is one I may, once my tea stash like dies down a little bit or dwindles down a little bit, I may look this company up and see if they still have this one and also see what other kind of teas they have. I finished up the Simpson and Vale National Park Tea Collection, the Great Smoky Mountains. This I actually already have in a full size because I do like it so much. It is well, I'll read it to you. It's black tea, lapsang souchong tea, blackberries, blackberry leaf, marigold petals, and blackberry flavor. So you end up having this, like, because of the lapsang, can I speak? Because of the lapsang souchong tea, you have like that smokiness, but then you have the rich black tea and then that like burst of blackberry flavor. It is such a nice tea. And obviously I finished this up because it was just a very small size, but normally I love having this tea in the autumn. There is something about this tea, like when it's chilly outside, and because I've done this so many times and it just now is ingrained in my mind, like sitting on my porch during a rainstorm when it's chilly enough to be like in a hoodie or have a blanket, and then to drink this and it has that berry, but then the smokiness to it. It is just, it's such a fantastic autumn tea. So love this. Like I said, I already have a full size of it that now I'm going to be able to kind of dig into. So definitely highly recommend that one, and I will continue to purchase that one. This next one is from Pink Stork Tea Company, and this is the Sleep, which is coconut lavender tea. I already kind of talked about how I'm not the biggest fan of floral teas and like the lavender. With this tea, not only was I not a fan of the lavender, but it also has coconut in it, and I don't know, let's see if this has a date on it actually. I don't know if I waited a little too long. I mean, not really. The Best Buy is 4/1/23, so it's not that over. all that to say, I feel like the coconut in this may have started to like kind of turn, because this had like a sourness to it that I was not a fan of. And then with that lavender on top of it, I just wasn't a fan. The other thing too, I didn't notice a huge difference in sleep. Now, I can't necessarily blame this or anything, or maybe I was just having a stage where, I wasn't sleeping the greatest or whatever. However, I do know that when I drink like chamomile teas and stuff like that, that generally does help me to sleep. So, I mean, I can say that a lot of times, like the sleepy time teas, they actually do work for me. But yeah, I just didn't notice anything spectacular with this one. And then the flavor was just not for me. So that's one I will not be repurchasing. Next up is the Simpson and Vale Holiday Teas collection, and this is the Figgy Pudding. This was really, really good. It is a green tea, currants, orange peel, figgy pudding flavor, cinnamon, sweet blackberry leaf, raspberry pieces, and corn flour. Honestly, I mean, it was the green tea, so you definitely picked up on that. I definitely could taste like the currants, and then I think it was just the figgy pudding flavor probably that I was picking up on, because I really didn't taste orange peel, sweet blackberry leaf, or raspberry. But the figgy pudding, which I don't even know how else to explain it other than it's just figgy. I've never even had figgy pudding, so I mean, I don't know if it's like taste authentic or anything, but that figgy pudding flavor was just really good. So you combine that with the green tea. Obviously, I drank this without milk or anything. And well, I did actually add sweetener at one point, and that was really good. But I never added milk or anything. And this was just really, really enjoyable. So this is one I may actually end up picking up a full size of come, like next Christmas. Like that. And then the last one that I have is the David's Tea Cotton Candy Rooibos Tea. This is definitely really enjoyable. I don't even know if they make this anymore. I haven't been on the David's Tea site in such a long time, because I haven't been on any tea sites in a really long time, to be honest, because I'm trying to use up teas before I purchase anymore. But this one is really, really good. When I first started trying to drink this, like when I first got it, which was a while ago, to me, the cotton candy, it sounded like it would be better iced. So I was trying it iced, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it iced. And then I finally tried it hot, and that for me was the way to go. So I feel like if they still have this tea, this is probably a really great one for like that transition between winter and spring, where you're still wanting to drink something warm and comforting, but it has that like brightness and sweetness and like, I don't know, just that burst of happy. I don't even know how else to describe it, of the cotton candy that's very spring-like. So I definitely enjoyed that one. And if they did still have it, I probably would repurchase it come like next spring. All right, next let's just jump into the like individual tea bags that I got through. So there were 4 of these. They're the Vadam, and there's 4 of them. This was their masala chai. This was definitely really, really good. I will say though, I think I enjoyed the Tazo more. So, which honestly is good, because I think the Tazo is probably much easier to get. So there's that one. I had one of the Twinings English Breakfast, which is one of my favorite black teas. If you just want to go with a strict a strict English breakfast, they are one of my absolute favorites. So this is good. I have a ton of these. I just was craving one, so I had just one. Obviously, I've been trying to work through other tea bags, so I only had the one, but next up is the David's Tea Valerian Nights, which is calming caramel and coconut. I only had one of these. I still have a small tin of this and then 3 more of the sachets that I still want to kind of play with. I had it once and it was definitely enjoyable, but to me, nothing remarkable. So I'm going to play with the other ones that I have and kind of see how I feel about it, and then I'll be able to give you a better review. But yeah, at this point, it was definitely, drinkable, but nothing that I would repurchase at this point. I also finished up this Choice Organics Mandarin Ginger Herbal Tea. Now this is really, really good. And I think I still have 3 more of these, but this was really nice. It has like that warming ginger, which is so perfect for this time of year when it's still, we're still having some cold mornings. But then it has that brightness from the mandarin. Oh, it's just so, so good. So this is one I definitely would repurchase. Finished up 2 of the Stash Teas Christmas Eve caffeine free, which this is it's cinnamon, orange peel, spearmint, vanilla, orange oil, cinnamon flavor, and clove flavor. I have found, because I think I still have quite a few of these, I have found that this is probably not my favorite of the like kind of Christmassy teas from Stash. So once the box is gone, unless my taste completely changes and I don't know, I decide I do want to, I don't think I'm going to repurchase this one anymore. I have this Twinings of London, the Unwind, which is passion flower and chamomile. It's passion flower and chamomile. However, the flavor is spiced apple and vanilla. These are fantastic. Again, I don't know if they still make this. I haven't been on the Twinings site in a very long time, and I don't think that my grocery store carries these. But this is fantastic. It was great for, well, I had some of these back in autumn, but I must have already showed those in a different Empties. It was fantastic for autumn, and it was also really, really nice, for the winter and, for early spring. So definitely would repurchase that. Next up, we have, this is Lipton. This is the Stress Therapy, which I don't think they still make this. It is cinnamon, chamomile, and lavender. I finished up 4 of those, which I think that might be all I have. I'm not, don't quote me on that, but I think I'm getting close to being done if this is not it. This was okay. This is, again, it's got that lavender in it, which kind of throws it off. The other thing about this, so it's got the cinnamon in there, but then it's got the lavender. So the fragrance of this, for some reason, reminded me of like a spicy men's cologne. So whenever I was drinking it, it was like I was drinking cologne. So even if they did still make this, I wouldn't be repurchasing it because it was just a weird combination. It wasn't totally unpleasant, and honestly, it smelled really, really good. It would make a great cologne, but it was just a little weird to drink it. So not a fan. I finished one of the Ahmad Pure Green Teas. This was okay. Nothing to write home about. I've had pure green teas that I liked better, so not something I would repurchase. I think I still have a few of those too. And I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the Lipton Detox. Again, I don't know if they still make this, but it is dandelion, nettle, and grapefruit. This one I actually really, really liked. You mainly taste that grapefruit, so it has like a brightness to it, that citrus brightness. And because it's a detox, it's dandelion, nettle, and grapefruit. It was completely decaf, no caffeine, which was nice. So I could have this all day, iced, hot, whatever I felt like. And it was nice. It was definitely refreshing. So if they did make it, I probably would repurchase it. Finished one of the Newman's Own caffeine-free chamomile. This was definitely nice. I know I have more of those. Finished one of the Tea Vive herbal infusions of chamomile. I think this is my last one of the Tea Vive brand. This was really good. I actually was able to find I had quite a few of the Tea Vive teas. I found them at the Dollar Tree, believe it or not, because my grocery store does not carry this brand. And they were all really, really nice quality teas. So I am not going to like hunt these down because chamomile is kind of chamomile. But if I saw these at the Dollar Tree again, you better believe I would be stocking up because it was good. I have a Tea-Chino roasted herbal tea. This is the chocolate raspberry. This was fantastic. So this is, it tastes like coffee. So it's like a roasted tea. Actually, what is in this? Oh, this doesn't have the ingredients. I can't remember if this is one, it says roasted herbal tea. I don't remember if this has the dandelion root in it or if it's the chicory. I can't remember, but it's roasted. So it has that roasted, like almost like a coffee bean flavor to it. This one was the chocolate raspberry. It is so good. If you are somebody who cannot drink coffee because of like the acid or the caffeine, but you love the flavor of coffee, this would make a fantastic replacement. So I think I still have maybe 3 of these. What I ended up doing with this is I brewed it and I took a couple sips of it just as is with no sweetener, no sugar. And because it tasted so authentically like coffee, I was like, let me add a little sweetener and milk, which is what I would normally do with my coffee, and see if it still tastes like coffee. And it did. This was so good. So highly, highly recommend this, especially if you are looking for a coffee replacement. It was definitely really good. This is the Adagio Peach Oolong. This was good. Would I repurchase? Probably not. I mean, I don't know if it was the peach flavor. I don't know if it was the oolong. I don't know. I have other peach teas that I like much, much better than this. This just wasn't my favorite, so probably wouldn't repurchase that one. I also have the Adagio Hojicha. This was actually really good, so this I probably would repurchase. Liked that. And then we have the Choice Organics. This was the black tea Earl Grey. Now, this was good, but again, that Tazo Earl Grey was just hitting. Oh, so I probably wouldn't repurchase this one because I would just repurchase the Tazo, although this was good. So, I mean, if I ever saw it like on sale or something, I would get it, but the Tazo was just so good. Next up, I have two of these Twinings Winter Spice Herbal Teas. And these ones, it is a sweet apple flavor and savory cinnamon, cardamom, and clove spices. This is really nice. It brews up like a very light yellowish color. Oh, it's so good. It's like an apple cinnamon, not heavy cinnamon though. I mean, it's more like apple with just like the warming spices. It was really, really good. And the apple in this is not tart either. It's like a sweet apple. So really liked that. Would definitely repurchase. Also have the Twinings Holiday Berry Herbal Tea, which is, I think this is, okay, it's rose hips, hibiscus, orange leaves, blackberry leaves, natural cherry, blueberry, and strawberry flavors with other natural flavors, apple pieces, licorice root, acai and goji juice granules, and roasted chicory root. Okay, this is the one, to me, I get mainly the strawberry with maybe the hint of like cherry. So this one I actually love iced. When I drink this one hot, it's a little too tart for me, but iced, it is perfect. I don't even have to add sweetener. So love that and will definitely repurchase. And then this is the last one, and I have 4 of these, and this is the one I was talking about when I was talking about the Candy Cane Lane. This is the Twinings Peppermint Cheer, and this is a vanilla flavored peppermint tea. Notice how the vanilla is first. It's the vanilla flavored peppermint tea. I like this one better because you definitely taste more of the vanilla. This tea reminds me of those like buttermints that you can get, like the pillowy buttermints. Oh my gosh, I love those things, and this is them in tea form. So I really, really like this tea and will definitely be repurchasing. That's it, you guys. That's all the teas that I have finished over the last few months. Let me know in the comments down below if you are also on a sip down or if you're just enjoying your teas as you go. And let me know if you've tried any teas lately that are really, really good and that you recommend. I'm not buying any teas anytime soon, probably, but I still love hearing your recommendations. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you next time.